You know every word of these songs. The wedding floor fillers, the cookout anthems, the ones that hijack your car radio 30 years later and you still sing along. But you have no idea who made them, why they only had one shot, or what happened after the music stopped. Welcome to R&BGROOVELore, where we dig up the real stories behind the one-hit wonders that soundtracked your parents' youth. The heartbreaks, the accidents, the stolen credit, and the songs that got bigger than the people who made them. 10 artists, 10 forgotten names, 1 unforgettable countdown, starting now. Number 10, Frankie Smith, Double Dutch Bus, 1981. Picture this, Philadelphia, 1981, and there's a song on the radio that sounds like nothing else on the charts, a funk groove built entirely around a kid's jump rope game. That's Double Dutch Bus by Frankie Smith, a former songwriter for the OJs and the Spinners, who noticed neighborhood girls skipping rope to a secret slang where you slip the letters is into the middle of every word. So please becomes plies, and a whole generation of Philly kids had their own private language. Get on the bus, pay your fare. Smith and co-writer Bill Bloom brought those actual neighborhood kids into the studio to chant it on the record, and it shot to #1 on the R&B chart in the summer of '81, gold certified, a genuine phenomenon. But here's the twist nobody talks about. That Izzle slang you know from Snoop Dogg? This is where it started, over a decade before faux shizzle ever existed. And Frankie Smith died quietly in Philadelphia in 2019, at 79, with barely a headline marking the passing of the man who accidentally invented hip-hop's most famous slang. Number 9, Anita Ward, Ring My Bell, 1979. Anita Ward was a college graduate working toward a life outside of music entirely when a song written for an 11-year-old landed in her lap. Songwriter Frederick Knight had originally penned Ring My Bell as an innocent tune about kids gossiping on the telephone, meant for a young singer named Stacy Lattisaw. But when Lattisaw signed elsewhere, Knight rewrote the lyrics with a grown-up wink and handed it to Ward, who, by her own account, thought it sounded too childish to release. She was wrong. Ring My Bell exploded to #1 in the summer of 1979. On the very same week, Chicago's infamous Disco Demolition Night tried to bury the entire genre in a baseball stadium. And here's the part that stings. Ward didn't even know she was owed royalties for one of the biggest disco records ever made, not until Burger King used it in a commercial decades later, and her husband had to call the company himself to ask why the checks had never come. Number 8, Andrea True Connection, More, 1976. This next story sounds made up, but every word of it is real. Andrea True was working as an adult film actress on assignment in Jamaica when the government suddenly froze all outgoing money in response to U.S. sanctions, and she was stuck on the island, unable to leave with the cash she'd earned. So, thinking fast, she called a producer friend in New York, Greg Diamond, flew him down with a half-finished instrumental track, and recorded vocals over it in a local studio, essentially laundering her own paycheck into a master tape she could legally carry home. That desperate, improvised session became More, a top 5 smash in 1976, that turned a porn star into a disco headliner, playing 300 shows in a single year. Until vocal cord surgery quietly ended her singing career, and Andrea passed away in 2011 at 68, a footnote to a song that started as a way to smuggle money out of Jamaica. Number 7, Vicki Sue Robinson, Turn the Beat Around, 1976. Before disco, Vicki Sue Robinson was already a Broadway kid. She made her professional debut in the original cast of Hair at just 16 years old, then joined Jesus Christ Superstar, all before she'd even had a real childhood. Born in Harlem to a black Shakespearean actor and a white folk singer, Robinson had music in her blood from both directions, and when Turn the Beat Around started as a buried album track in 1976, it built so much buzz on dance floors that RCA Rush released it as a single. It became a gold record, a Grammy nomination, and one of disco's defining anthems. She later became a fixture of Studio 54's wildest nights, living the diva lifestyle the era demanded, and in 1999, she turned her own rise and fall into an off-Broadway one-woman show called Behind the Beat, performing her signature hit in full Queen of Disco costume. Vicki Sue Robinson died of cancer in the year 2000, at just 45, gone far too soon, but her beat is still the one every DJ turns around, even now. Number 6, Jean Knight, Mr. Big Stuff, 1971. In 1970, Jean Knight wasn't chasing stardom. She was working as a baker at a university in New Orleans, years removed from her last unsuccessful attempt at a singing career. A songwriter friend talked her into one session at Malaco Studios in Jackson, Mississippi. The result was a sassy, horn-driven put-down of male arrogance called Mr. Big Stuff, and every major label that heard it rejected it. Stax Records passed too, at first, until another Malaco recording, King Floyd's Groove Me, went gold, and Stax scrambled to dig Knight's rejected tape back out of a drawer. Released in the spring of 1971, Mr. Big Stuff spent 5 weeks at number 1 on the R&B chart, sold nearly 2 million copies, and earned Knight a Grammy nomination. Proof that sometimes the song everyone passes on is the one that outlives them all. Jean Knight passed away in 2023 at 80, still remembered as Stax Records' top-selling female artist of all time. Number 5, Wild Cherry, Play That Funky Music, 1976. Wild Cherry wasn't a funk band at all. They were a hard rock cover group out of Ohio, playing disco clubs, only because the rock venues had all shut down around them.
So foolish. I could.
During a break at a Pittsburgh club called the 2001 Club, playing to a mostly black audience who wanted to dance, someone shouted at the band, half joking, half serious, "Are you gonna play some funky music, white boys?" Frontman Rob Parisi grabbed a drink order pad and a borrowed pen and wrote the entire song in about 5 minutes flat, turning the heckle into the hook. His own father, hearing it for the first time, literally lifted the needle off the record and told him to cut the white boy line out. Parisi refused, and Play That Funky Music shot to number 1 on both the pop and R&B charts in September 1976, went platinum, and became Wild Cherry's only hit, a band that never played funk again, immortalized forever by the one time they finally did. Number 4, The Floaters, Float On, 1977.
Let me take you to love me.
Here's a Detroit soul quartet that hit #1 with a gimmick so simple it sounds like a joke. Each member introduces himself by name, star sign, and ideal type of woman, like a dating profile set to a slow groove.
Sharing your love with Mary.
The idea came to founder James Mitchell, a former member of the Detroit Emeralds, literally in a dream. The song was supposed to be a straight instrumental until he decided the group should ad-lib their introductions live in the booth. Ralph is an Aquarius who likes a woman who loves her freedom. Charles is a Libra who wants someone who looks like Miss Universe. And somehow, this borderline novelty record climbed to #2 on the Hot 100, #1 on the UK charts, and #1 R&B for 6 straight weeks in 1977. But the very gimmick that made them famous became the trap they couldn't escape. Every follow-up single tried and failed to match it, and the floaters vanished from the charts almost as fast as they'd arrived, remembered forever as the group whose zodiac signs you knew before you knew their last names. #3, Looking Glass, Brandy, You're a Fine Girl, 1972.
From the north of Spain, a locket.
For decades, fans swore Brandy was based on a real 18th century New Jersey woman named Mary Ellis, a spinster who fell for a sailor and waited by the harbor for a man who never came back. There's even a real grave people point to. It's a beautiful story, and songwriter Elliot Lurie has flatly said it's not true. Brandy, he explained, was a name he picked because it sounded more feminine than Randy, the name of an actual high school girlfriend of his. Looking Glass was just a New Jersey college bar band from Rutgers University when a Washington, D.C. radio DJ started playing the track and the phones lit up like Christmas trees. The song shot to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in August 1972, the band's only real hit before they quietly dissolved.
Wears a braided chain made of finest silver.
And there's a heartbreaking postscript most fans never hear. Bassist Peter Swavall, who played on that very record, died of AIDS in January 1990. One more name behind a song that everyone can hum, but almost nobody can place.
The sailor said, Brandy, you're a fine girl.
#2, McFadden and Whitehead, Ain't No Stoppin' Us Now, 1979.
There's been so many things that's held us.
Everyone assumes Ain't No Stoppin' Us Now is a straight-up feel-good anthem. But Gene McFadden and John Whitehead wrote it as a message to their own bosses. The pair had already written massive hits for other artists, the OJ's Backstabbers, Harold Melvin's Bad Luck, as in-house songwriters for Philadelphia International Records. But label owners Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff wanted them to stay behind the scenes forever. When McFadden and Whitehead finally wrote Ain't No Stoppin' Us Now, Gamble tried to hand it to the OJs instead. The duo refused, recorded it themselves, and wrote it to #1 on the R&B chart in 1979, selling millions and becoming the very artists their bosses never wanted them to be. But the ending here is devastating. In 2004, John Whitehead was shot and killed outside his own Philadelphia home in a case that remains unsolved to this day, and Gene McFadden died of cancer just 3 years later, leaving behind a song about defiance that now doubles as their epitaph. #1, The Winstons, Color Him Father, 1969. And here's the story that changed music more than almost anyone realizes. Even people who've never heard the A-side of this record have heard its B-side, thousands of times, without ever knowing it. Color Him Father itself was a hit, a Washington, D.C. soul group's tribute to a stepfather It climbed to number 7 on the Billboard chart and won a Grammy for Best R&B Song in 1969. But flip the single over, and there's an instrumental called Amen, Brother, with a 6-second drum solo, played by a man named Gregory Coleman. That 6-second breakbeat became, quite literally, the most sampled piece of music in history, the backbone of hip-hop, jungle, and drum and bass, used in over 6,000 recordings from NWA to David Bowie to Oasis. A 6-second clip that spawned entire genres.
Man, and I don't know why. Except I need a step.
And here's the part that should stop you cold. Gregory Coleman received no royalties, no credit, and no money for any of it, and died in 2006, reportedly homeless and unaware of what his 6 seconds of drumming had become. It took a 2015 crowdfunding campaign, raising over £20,000 for the surviving band, just to give the Winstons anything at all for changing music forever without ever knowing it.
Now we belong to the man.